Hi, everyone. Welcome to Glitch and Glow, the podcast where digital dreams meet soulful self care. I'm Ariel,
And I'm Edna.
and we're social workers by trade, and we're your hosts on this journey through the worlds of tech, wellness, gaming, and Black womanhood.
Each week, we dive into real conversations, level up our self care, decode the latest tech, and celebrate the wins, big and small, in our communities.
Whether you're here for the healing, the hacks, or the high scores, you're in the right place. So grab your tea, your controller, or your headphones. Let's tap in.
All right, as per usual, let's start with boot sequence. This is where we boot up and sync in. Ariel, what is your glitch for this week?
So my glitch is an actual glitch, which
Oh,
was a situation for moi. Okay, so last week I was like in the middle of a meeting, and I think I've mentioned on the podcast before, like when I'm in meetings, like I have to be on camera. And so I am like meeting with the client, and all of a sudden my camera, like the video off of my camera on my computer, all of a sudden there's like a red tint, a green tint, and then it starts like moving around and like jumping, right? You know what I'm talking about? And so, like, luckily, I was able to finish the meeting, but it was like really bugging me. But I was like, cool, I got a couple hours before my next one. Like, let me figure this out. So I'm like, you know what? This is probably Zoom because I always blame everything on Zoom. My bad, y'all. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just like check for updates. I check for updates. Everything's fine. I was like, I tried it again. It's still doing it. I'm like, all right, maybe it's like, maybe I just need to like uninstall and reinstall. Do that. Still messing up. But then as I'm messing around with the audio or the video settings, all of a sudden Zoom's like, hey girl, we can't find the camera. And I said, huh? What do we mean we can't find the camera? And so then I go to the camera app on my computer and they're like, camera not found. And I said, well, we found it 5 minutes ago. So how are we? I'm like talking to the computer because now I'm getting stressed because I'm like, yo, I have like five more meetings today and I do not want to be doing Zoom off of my phone. Like, I do not have time for this. So I'm like, okay, we're just going to like hop into my little like IT bag and, we're going to figure this out. So I'm like, cool. We're going to restart the computer. That didn't work. Camera still not found. And I'm like, okay, we're just going to like check for updates. Everything's up to date. Camera still not found. And so then I was like, cool. We're gonna go to our good sis Google and we're gonna like see what the word is. It's immediately like, hey, what happens when your computer says it's your camera's not found? And so then they like give all these suggestions, whatever. I go into the device manager. I look to see if the camera like hardware even shows up and it's gone. And so I was like, okay. So then now I'm doing more Googles. Then I find in your device manager where all the hardware is like listed. There's a tab where you can find like hidden drivers. And so I had to go into that, right? It's stupid. Everything that's been happening has been stupid, right? Meanwhile, like time is going on, right? This is at this point, I'm already like 90 minutes in just like trying to figure out what's going on because I just like kept restarting stuff. And so then I find the integrated camera in the hidden driver. So I'm like, cool, we're just gonna like repair the driver. Like this has gotta be the solution. I go in there, they're like, we can't help you. So I was like, cool. Immediately like, let me go ahead and get me a webcam because we don't have time for this. So order a webcam and I'm still like messing around with it because I'm like, maybe I can figure it out. I go, I'm like restarting it. I go to like back my computer up because I was like fully prepared to do a hard reset. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe we need to walk away. So I literally was like, let me just like, we're gonna like try to do an like I did like a full scan and then I was like, we're just gonna restart it. And then they told me like it was gonna be like a long time to like update my computer. So I was like, okay, maybe this is what's gonna happen. But I had to walk away because I was like really pressed. And I was like, cool, I have to leave in 30 minutes to go into the office. So like this must be resolved by then. And like I go, I take a shower, I eat some lunch, I come back and my camera's working again all of a sudden. So like it turned into a glow, but like it was like hours long of shenanigans. And I still am not even using like my integrated camera off my laptop because I had used it again the next day and it started giving me that like red green tinge again. And I said, okay, we're not doing this anymore. And so now we're using a webcam and it is very crisp, very crisp. And so that's been a good time for me. So that was my glitch that kind of turned into a glow, but it was like hours of like stress. And I have to say, like, shout out to the digital media services. Don't know how I got that job in college, but it came in handy because I was troubleshooting like a pro. Okay. So,
No,
yeah,
you
girl, that's my
really
glitch.
were. Yeah,
Like, I
I
tried
was.
everything I could think.
No, you did a great job. You're like, reset, restart, go here, settings, boom, bam, like everything. Googling, re Googling. Like, no, you really did it. Like, by that time, I'm like, IT, what's up? And it's, I will say, in a world of like hybrid working, remote working, you own your own bit, whatever it is, if you don't have an IT team, you really have to develop some skills. And the
Yes.
same thing happened to me. And I did reach out to my IT department, which I think is like one human, like helping all of us. So when he didn't respond, I was like, I'm not even mad at you. I just bought a webcam. I was like, I don't have the time, same as you, to like figure it out. And I similarly did all the things like you. And then eventually you're just like, there's a workaround, and it's just buying a separate camera. So now I don't have to worry about this built in camera that ultimately is not working. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
In a virtual world, you just can't really play like that anymore. You're like, people apparently
Mm-mm.
want to look at me, so I have to in these
If
meetings and
only.
things.
If only I could just have
Yeah.
the camera off, I wouldn't even be pressed. But,
Yeah, no, no, no,
that's not a thing
no.
for my job. So,
No, no, no.
anyway, though, what's your glitch?
You know what? Low key this week, I was like, I think life's pretty good. Do I even have a
Hey.
glitch? I know, right? So, this is going to be like a really light level glitch. And it's like, fall is here. I dub it fall time. I bring out my fall decorations. I'm like, oh, yes, I'm going to put up my fall decorations. And it took all of 15 to 30 minutes and it was done. And I was like, oh, do we have nothing? And so I realized like I have fall and Halloween. And at this point, I just want to put up like the fall stuff. But even then, I'm realizing like compared to the amount of Christmas shit I have, I'm like, oh, I really
Mm,
need to bulk up my Halloween stuff. And just fall stuff in general because I love it. It's literally my favorite time of year. Like all the Burr
mm,
months, my
mm-hmm.
absolute you know this. And
I
so the
know.
fact that I'm
But
not
you live
walking
in
through
a
my
place
house
where that's
just
not a thing, though. You know that, right?
it was
I'm just
101
saying.
degrees today.
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
believe it?
So
But the
is it
leaves are also
fall? Is it
falling.
fall? I don't
The
know.
leaves are falling. I don't know if it's because they're crispy. I don't know if it's because they're like,
They're
help us.
dehydrated. They got burnt up. They
It
just
has
gave
rained
up.
though. It rained all weekend, so I'm not really sure what's up with this like Texas weather. But I think they're probably tired and like ready for fall also. That's the sign that I'm taking away. Like nature is ready. We are all ready. But yeah, it made me be like, oh, I want to go, find some stuff. And I went to Home Goods. This feels so like, oh, first world problems, but I don't care. I went to Home Goods and I was like, you want how much for what? Like I was like, oh, I want some fall table runners, and I was like, $50. Like this is crazy. I want a little cute pumpkin, $30. This is one pumpkin.
Hmm.
Like how much
Hmm.
space I have. So I bought nothing so far, and I'm like, I need to at least buy something that I really like. Because
Will
I
it
think for
be
Christmas,
better
I'm like,
in October? Like if you like wait until October, would they have like more stuff or
no, everybody has stuff. It is just outrageously priced. Like I'm gonna go to Michael's next, but even then, I saw somewhere on social media that somebody was bringing out one of the styrofoam pumpkins from Michael's, and it was like damn near $70. And I said, for a styrofoam pumpkin, so all that to say, I want to fall out my house. I want to like make it real, just cozy. And I think it's already accomplished, but I want more orange, more reds, more like yellows. And yeah, so eventually, hopefully, I will get there, but I don't think it's going to be this year because these prices and yeah, it's not going to happen yet. So I'm going to get there one day. It's like the lightest glitch of all time. It just also makes me like, just wait and go to like a pumpkin patch and buy real pumpkins and whatever. I have an
exactly?
excuse to do that.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, so it also makes me a little jealous because have you already gone? I'm putting your business out there. Did you already go pumpkin? Not
No,
pumpkin, apple picking?
we're gonna go actually like in a month. We were gonna go that day and then we're like, it'd be like cuter to like go in October.
Oh
So
my
we're gonna
God.
go and
I'm
we're
so
gonna get some
jealous.
apples and then drink the cider. And with my
Wow.
apples, I'm gonna bake the things. I'm
Well,
so excited to
I
put
am
that KitchenAid
so
to work. Okay.
wow,
Like
your kitchen.
yes.
Wow. So jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
Can't
normally
wait.
like a jealous gal, but this with the apple picking.
And it's real though. And I
Whew,
think it's also because it's like real fall over here. Right now, we're technically
I
in
know.
false fall. We're in false fall right now
Okay,
because like
almost there.
the temps the past few days have been like mid 60s, but like next week we're gonna
Mm-mm.
like go back up to like mid 70s. So like we're in a false fall, but I'm not mad at it. It feels nice.
Man, I'm
Yeah.
like literally so jealous. I keep thinking about all the things you're saying. I'm like, oh, pumpkins. Ooh, like first off, your outfit's gonna be cute as shit. Then you're gonna be like a little
Yo, my
crispy, and then
best fashions are in the fall. Okay,
I
well,
know
let me
it.
tell you,
It's
fall
so
is my
good.
time. Okay.
It's mine too. I don't even put away my sweaters. I like leave them out all year long. Just like one day, I'll put these on again.
Yours is optimism and
Uh,
mine necessity because
you're
Chicago.
actually in
But
Italy, huh? I
you know,
know. I know. I know. But my goodness, I love fall. So one day I'll get there. What's your glow?
my glow. So it's like not so much of something that's already happened, but it's kind of like a future glow that I'm like super stoked about.
Mm-mm.
I'm just getting some family time in this weekend, and I'm like
Hmm.
very, very excited because it's been a little bit. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
What are y'all gonna do?
Birthday party.
Oh
We're doing a birthday
yeah.
party. It's gonna be super duper cute, and and I'm gonna see a bunch of people from like back home that I haven't seen in a long time. So,
Uh-uh.
super excited.
Oh, cute. Is there a theme? I love that like the tiniest children have themes that they normally will not remember. They'll see pictures one day and be like, okay, cool. But
So, what's your glow?
my glow is gonna be long, and I'm not gonna apologize. I'm just forewarning
We
everyone.
love a long glow. Wait a minute,
You
positivity. Let's
know, I
go.
know, but I feel like we've actually done longer in the past, so maybe I'm hyping it up for no reason. I shouldn't have said it, but it's okay. So I know I've talked to you about it before, Ariel, and I've clearly talked about it on the podcast. Like I'm trying to find the other black women who are out here gaming and like playing the video games.
Mhm.
And so I've finally become a member of Black Girl Gamers or BGG.
Yo, wait a
And I'm
minute.
so excited about it. I like want to do a little dance. So it is an organization that's coming up on 10 years, which is crazy. I've been following them for a little bit now, but I didn't realize that they started in like, I guess, yeah, like 2015. And the founder is a black woman. Her name is J. Ann Lopez, and she's in the UK. And she was feeling, I guess, similarly to me, and similarly, I think, probably to like a lot of women that have joined the space, where she was
Mhm.
trying to find like minded people, like black women who want a game. And so she started the organization, and it's only for specifically black women, people who identify as femme, and non binary people. So that is it. Like to
Mhm.
submit, you have to literally like fill out something like a little questionnaire and put a picture of you holding a sheet of paper saying like who I am and some other little information. Then you have to go to the orientation with your camera on. They like have a bunch of rules. They have their Discord, they have their website. So like all this
That's
stuff for
dope
you to
though.
plug in and engage. And it's amazing. So when I was on the call, even like the orientation, there was a bunch of people from the States for sure. Not a bunch, but like a good amount. They were having multiple orientations. So there was like me in Texas, folks from the East Coast, folks from the Midwest. And then there were people in the UK, people in Ghana, people in Morocco, like literally around the world.
Wow.
Just like beautiful black people talking about like why they're joining the space, talking about the opener question was, what game are you playing right now? Never been asked that as like a icebreaker. Almost died, and I shared, and we've talked about this before on our episode when we were talking about like gaming and
Mhm.
movies.
Mhm.
slash shows, and I let them know that I started The Witcher 3. And most people, like, in the spaces that I'm in are, about it, but are just like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
cool. No, I felt so seen. They were like, oh my God, I love that game. It's one of my favorite games. I be in the brothels, don't judge me. Just like funny stuff. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a great time. People were talking about aspects of gaming that I'm like, I don't even know what acronym that is, but like, I'm ready to find out. And so, yeah, I'm just really, really thrilled. I've been like going through the Discord, and there's so many different groups even within it, and they have opportunities to plug in even outside of gaming, like some crochet classes and a whole bunch of other stuff that different members do. And
Hmm.
yeah, just like a lot of different opportunities to plug in. And so I'm wildly excited about it. Looking forward to connecting with more women on there, and looking forward to hopefully building some new relationships, or at least gaining friends. So
Yeah.
that's like a big glow for me.
Yeah,
Like, I feel
that's
like I'm
super
winning.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like wildly excited. So, little dance
Yeah,
again
that's
because I'm
super
super
dope,
excited.
especially because you really have been looking for that for like a very, very long time at this point.
Yeah.
And so, and I mean, I'm not gonna say I kind of love how exclusive it is. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
They're
this
not
is a
playing.
space for like a specific like
Mm-hmm.
demographic. And so, like, if you were not
Mm-hmm.
part of that, like, sorry, not sorry, right? And
Yep.
I like kind of love that. So,
Mm-hmm. They're like, no homophobia, no xenophobia, no obias.
mm-hmm,
Like, this is a welcoming space
mm-hmm,
to this group of people. And I
mm-hmm,
love it. So
mm-hmm.
I'm just really excited about it,
Oh,
genuinely
that's
in my
so
soul. Super excited. I have high
fun.
expectations. I've only literally been in it now for like probably a week. So for anybody who's like, oh, I'm trying to get in there, Edna said no. Edna didn't say. Edna's just excited to be a member so far. Not to say that it's gonna be bad. I have high expectations. I think it's gonna be a great time. I'm just saying that too. Like, hey, okay. I can't like speak to how it actually is so far, or like once you're really in there. But so far, it's been nice. So
Mhm.
I'm really excited about it. That's like my big love.
Oh, I love that.
Thanks, thanks.
Great. All right. Okay, so let's move into debug this. So, our topic for today is really, I was thinking about like a lot of our conversations around wellness. Like, we talk a lot about like community. And so I was like thinking about community for Black people specifically and like what parts of that are. And so I kind of fell into like a rabbit hole about like proverbs, like Black American proverbs. And
Mm.
it was like a really fun thing to research. So that's what today's topic is going to be about, Black American
Hmm.
proverbs.
Okay.
So, okay. So a lot of Black American proverbs, I'll say, comes from African oral traditions. So like stories, folk tales, and like trickster tales that were all passed down through like generations. So like example would be like Anansi the spider, if you like remember those stories. Did you ever read those? Do you remember those at all?
It feels very vague to me. Like, I know that I know it, but
Yeah.
not well enough to tell somebody else it.
Yeah. So like that was a super popular one, or like the Brer Rabbit story. So like those characters are really known for like their wit and like cleverness, and like sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they would do a little troublemaking.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they like to tussle.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're really I remember like my first I think I'm gonna say I was in like second grade or something. And I remember my teacher, she would like read us stories from Anansi the Spider. And I was always like super, super into it. And I remember like going back and telling my parents about it. And they're like, yeah, girl. And then like kind of broke it down for me. But it like, I remember that being like some of my first memories of it. But
Mm.
Proverbs are, they're more than just like entertainment, right? Like they were really used as teaching tools. So a lot of scholars have noted that Proverbs have helped like Black communities specifically, like help to navigate systemic oppression, everyday challenges, and also like moral dilemmas. So, they're not just saying stuff for fun, but they were kind of like blueprints for living, essentially. Um, so when you think of a proverb, like what kind of just like comes to mind? I know I kind of gave you like cheat codes a little bit, but like Is there any proverb that you can think of that just like boom comes to mind for you?
No, not at all. I was thinking, I'm going to
Okay.
fail you today, girl. I was also thinking about, like, when I think Proverbs, I immediately think of the Bible, also, by the
Mhm.
way. And
Mhm.
then when you were bringing up Anansi the Spider, I did look it up and I was like, oh, I totally remember at least this book
Mhm.
cover. I
Mhm.
also was thinking about Happily Ever After, that
Oh,
cartoon. Didn't they used to
my
incorporate some?
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually remember Happy Ever After. That was like actually one of my favorite cartoons growing up. And when I used to work in schools for group sometimes, and I had like the little guys, like second graders, third graders, I would like have them watch one of them, like one of like the stories from that, and then we would like have a whole conversation about it. It was like really very cute. So highly recommend. It was a great time, and they had like stars in there, like Whoopi Goldberg, Will Smith. Like they had like big names like doing voice acting for those shows. So
I forgot
10 out
about
of 10
that.
recommend. That was a great time. That was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like looking into like a proverb, I actually like looked at the definition. So I got this definition from the Cambridge Dictionary. And it said that a proverb is a short, simple, traditional saying or statement that gives advice based on practical experience, often in the form of a metaphor or allegory. Proverbs are popular. Why can I not talk? My goodness, guys. Proverbs are popular in spoken language and form part of the folklore of a culture and are passed on from generation to generation. So, a lot of culture that's passed down, especially within like the Black American community, is poorly. It's through telling stories, it's through everybody sitting around like the elders of the family and just like listening to those stories, right? And like asking questions and learning about lived experiences and how that can apply to like what our current lived experiences are. So I wanted to go over some like popular proverbs and like see if we can like decipher the meaning behind it.
Okay.
And so I have like a bunch listed, but we'll see how many we get through. But one that kept popping up that I actually do remember hearing, and I don't know if it was from my parents or from like somebody else, but each one teach one. Have you heard of that one before?
Mm-mm. I'm supposed to guess, though, what I
Any
think it means.
guesses? Yeah, each one teach one.
Like everyone has something that they can teach somebody else, is what my gut is telling me. But I could see you telling me something different right now. I could see
No,
this being incorrect.
you're on track. So basically, they're saying like sharing knowledge with others and like mentorship is key, essentially. So
Mm-hmm,
it
mm-hmm.
really like encourages like community education, peer mentorship, and like passing down skills, which I think is like very prevalent within the Black American communities. So that was one that I feel like kept popping up a lot, even when I was just kind of doing my own research. Like that seemed to be like very popular. Um, Here's one that I know that you have
Oh
heard
my
either
goodness.
from your people, from my people. Somebody has told you this, but
Okay.
or you just heard it. It takes a village to raise a child.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Oh, thank God. I was like, are you betting all your coins? I don't know if you should. I told you that nothing's coming to mind. Yeah, of course. Of course, of course. And, this is so interesting. I was actually talking about it today with a group of folks that I guess the former Surgeon General at this point, he, I guess, was it this year? I guess last year. All the years are the same, y'all. But one of the last things that he did was he had a parental advisor on mental health saying, like, hey, there's a mental health like epidemic happening with parents. And
Mm,
before that, it was the children, right? Like the children and the youth are facing a mental health epidemic. And then, of course, when you think of children, of course, their parents are,
hmm
like we
hmm
think parents affect kids, yada, yada. And so one of the things that he was saying is like, now a lot of villages are gone, and therefore it makes it really hard because we normally say it takes a village to raise a child, like just like you said, but it's become a stressor, a source of loneliness, the fact that we don't have as much of a village as we used to, especially if we're thinking about folks who move away. Because now I feel like it's really common to, I'm one of those people to like move away from
Mm-hmm.
family,
Mm-hmm. She
living in
just up
different
and left me
places.
on. Up and
I
left me.
did, and it's so sad. But then I even think about like healing and generational healing, and a lot of us
Yeah.
putting up boundaries and like even making choices to choose other villages and choose or
Yeah.
other villagers for our village and our, who we want to raise, or like just in general as we're healing. That could also be part of it too. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think I got a little deep on that, but I think it was top of mind for me thinking about some of the conversations that I had today of like it definitely does take a village, and this like American way, like white American way of thinking of like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
let's pick apart that village. It kind of hurts us. It kind of hurts us a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really important
Yeah.
though.
And they really talk about just like child rearing and how it's like it's a communal responsibility, right? So like I very much remember like being a kid and my parents being like, okay, there are certain people's houses you're allowed to go to and nobody else's because I trust them with you, and like I know that they're going to be also instilling like good values and respecting like, how we raise you and making sure that like you're going to be good when you're not in my care. And like I remember like some of my friends coming to my parents' house and being like, yeah, if you need to discipline them, like you have permission to do so, right? And so, that I know that's very much like how things were back in the day, and might still be that way now, but it does really emphasize just like community, so like I feel like this whole conversation is going to keep going back to like community and how like important that is. I think for everybody, but especially for Black folks. So yeah. Um, this okay. So here's another one where like I don't remember hearing this ever, but I was like, oh, okay. It's smooth seas do not make skillful sailors.
Skillful sailors.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. So like, even though the road might be easy, that doesn't mean like you're. I'm cracking myself up because I feel like I got it, but to articulate it feels really hard right now. So like, just because the road might be easy doesn't mean like you have all your ducks in a row type shit, right? Like something like that.
Hmm.
Like I still have to
Hmm.
put in the work. I still got to practice. Like in fact, a bumpy road might be a little bit better because then you have a little bit of challenges. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to like work some
We're
stuff
here.
out. Okay, okay,
We're here.
yeah.
We're here.
Look at me. Yeah, and that resonates with me. Like I think there are so many times where I think about like learning, suffering, even, which I know feels dark, but let's be real,
Hmm.
challenges, etc. And I think about like times that I've grown or times where I've had to push myself, and it is during like the bumpier, more
Hmm.
tumultuous seas, staying on brand than the smooth
Hmm.
sea.
Yes, girl, go off. Do I need to say anything? I don't think so.
You
They
did,
are
you did.
basically saying like challenges and struggles like build strength and resilience, right? So like it's something that really inspires like perseverance through like challenges essentially, and we learn best when we're faced with something that's difficult, right? Versus if you've had a quote unquote easy life, you might not have the same strength and resilience and skills that somebody who, didn't have the easiest life has. So, and I think it also speaks to just like instant gratification, taking the easy way out. Like, sure, that can get you to where you need to go, but did you really learn the lessons that you needed to learn? Right?
Girl.
Is that something that's applicable or that can be applicable to your life down the road? So
You got me thinking of like how we sound old now. Been like, man, these young kids, all they want is instant gratification. All they want is like you can just Google something real, whatever it is, right? Like it's gotten
it's
so out of
chat.
hand.
This comes back to our conversation about ChatGPT, honestly, because
For
like
sure.
it links to convenience, right? It links to what's the easiest thing, and like sure, it'll get you what you want, but like you didn't really learn much from that.
You know,
You're not keeping anything from that.
I have to share because you brought it up. I've been using it significantly less. Like even to write my
Oh,
emails, I'm like, nope, not breaking my brain. Study
not
messing.
breaking my brain.
I'm like, no, 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 no. Just use your brain, girl. Even if it's gonna take twice as long. Like, it's okay. Then my husband just shared some study about TikTok with me, and I was like, done with that. Like, I just need a break from like everything. I'm like, do you just need to go back to Pinterest? Less gratifying, low key.
Yo,
Also, can we side
Pinterest.
quest hard? So I
Yes.
remember when Pinterest used to be like a thing,
Oh,
right? Like
what a
in the early
time.
days of Pinterest, there weren't a lot of ads. You weren't being sold stuff. Everybody
Hmm.
just had their cute shit that they had up there. You were making
Hmm.
your boards, you
Hmm.
shared them with your friends, you know what I'm saying? I still use it for inspiration, right? But now the amount of ads that are on there, I'm like, this is taking way too long for me to click,
Hmm.
click, click to find like even the damn blog that's usually too long. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like trying to be like, well, how did I used to do things? And I'm like, oh, even the way I used to is just not the
Hmm.
same. Like, because even you do a quick Google, then they're like, let me give you the AI stuff. And you're like, damn, now I got to scroll
You're like,
past that. I got
right.
to
You're like,
verify.
no, not that stuff.
Yeah. Like, don't force it upon me when I'm actively trying to like find another route. So I digress. Back to the Proverbs, but I had to.
It's okay. No, I'm happy that you said that because I actually still very much use Pinterest, especially for recipes. So, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Where am I at? Oh, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
It's giving it takes a village. It's giving like if you want to actually do something, you got to do it together. And I know this isn't a politics page, and so I will not go like very deep, but it also makes me think of like movements, systemic change, etc. Like you literally can't do it alone. You can be like a pivotal person. You can be
Hmm.
like someone that's helping to move things along for sure, but it's going to take a bunch of people in order to make some change. And so that one feels a little bit more like on the nose. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. It's teamwork, it's collaboration, and like those things are what is actually going to lead to long-term success rather than you just trying to like thug it out on your own and hoping for the best. So definitely. And like you said, like I actually like that you brought up politics, like we're not gonna right or activism, we're not gonna super go into it, but I think it's very relevant in business and activism, community projects like strength in numbers, right? Which is actually another one. It's just pretty like it's strength in numbers. And I feel like that one's like across the board, whether that's, whoever race, gender, whatever that, applies to, like I feel like that's a pretty common one. Um
Can I ask you really quick?
yeah.
So, what was the one before the strength of numbers? What did you say? You
Oh, the
said,
actual proverb. If you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
yeah. Do you have something that comes to mind for you that that's applicable for, like in your life?
Hmm.
I'm trying to think about that because, okay, let me call
Hmm.
myself out. I think I very much am one of those people that's like, ask for help, why? And so I need to like be better about it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's one of the things I'm
yeah,
thinking of. Like, there's definitely times where I'm like, with the group, I'm doing the things, like I'm working in the ways that, we were talking about to get something to move along. But I'm thinking about like my own life and the waters and the sails and the challenging times. I'm putting it,
yeah,
overlapping, coming together.
yeah.
And I'm like, like for my personal self, when are times that I do that? And I think of like times that I've been close with teachers who have helped propel me forward
That's
or professors
immediately
that
where I was
have.
thinking.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm thinking about like stuff like that or like colleagues that I've gotten close to who have helped me to like move on to the next thing for sure. So I guess I don't need to write myself off. I'm just also thinking like
Hmm.
I could
Hmm. How it
probably do
applies,
it more.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I was also thinking too, just in terms of education, like, when I was doing school social work, like we worked on a multidisciplinary team, right? So like I worked at a therapeutic day school, so I was working with speech pathologists, OTs, their sped teacher, their paraprofessionals, like our crisis team. Like we were like a unit. And there were times where I would have students who would be in crisis and like I knew if I just went up there, I could probably calm them down very quickly, right? Just because we had a very different type of relationship. Because, like, I wasn't necessarily the disciplinarian, right? Like, I wasn't really someone that they, were facing opposition from a lot of the times. But I also knew that, like, if I were to come in and swoop in and save the day, like, this is going to be a situation that we deal with over and over and over again. So instead of me just coming in and calming them down and keeping it pushing, like I would bring in other members of the team. So A, they had more than one person to go to if they were in crisis, but B, they were able to like build skills with each other and foster those connections with each other and learn that emotional regulation so that I didn't necessarily have to come in later down the line, you know? So, that's the stuff that I feel like when you are working in a team, especially in those kind of settings, like it is actually like very, very necessary. So, yeah, it was a
It
time with
totally
some
takes a team.
stuff.
And
Yeah.
sorry if anybody heard my dog. He just went off. Like, did you hear
Yeah, he
him?
did. Yeah, he
Okay.
did. I was
Yeah. So I
like,
was like,
that man
whoa.
doesn't even bark. Like,
He
why is
doesn't.
he upset?
I was like, whoa.
He doesn't do that.
I was like, oh my God. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was not prepared. That's the quickest I've ever hit mute. But yeah, I hear you. Like the team, in order to be able to make sure that you're supporting the people that you're trying to serve, like in
Hmm.
general, for sure.
Hmm.
And this made me think of again today. Look at God, just aligning the work today with this podcast. Had me thinking about one of my first jobs after being in school was working at a nonprofit who like part of the mission was to make sure that we're treating people with dignity and respect, like no matter
Hmm.
who they are, because we were working with the recently unhoused population, we were working with the reentry population, so folks who had been incarcerated either like very recently or even a long time ago. And there are a lot of awesome things about the org, but one thing that they did that was really dope is that we would have like a fully functioning kitchen that was open for breakfast. Yeah, you
Right.
remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was open for
Yeah.
breakfast every day or like 6 days a week, I think. And we had people who would come and volunteer and literally chef it up like in the
Hmm.
kitchen. And then us as employees, then we would have other volunteers would come and work as the servers. So it didn't matter who was there. Like all the only requirement is that you were involved in programs at some point. Even if you weren't actively coming to anything right now, if you had been part of the program like years ago, even, you could still come and get a breakfast. And we had an entire menu with all the things that you could ever want on there, like for breakfast
Hmm.
time, or at least whatever we had for that day. And we would go up and we would take their order. And it didn't matter like if they had brought all their stuff with them from off the street, it didn't
Hmm.
matter like what they look like, what they like, anything. It was just always about treating people with dignity and respect.
Hmm.
Um, and we like worked as a team to make sure that folks felt that way and that they felt welcomed and that they continued to come back to get the support that they needed. So that just gave
Hmm.
me warm
Hmm.
fuzzies. Like doing the that's why we do the work,
Gotta
Ariel.
do the
Do it as a
work,
team, but you cannot do it
okay?
alone. Yep, we are a puzzle in the
No, you
piece.
cannot. Hello, hello. Okay, that's literally you just said one right there.
Oh my god!
You literally just said,
Wow,
go
you're just a puzzle in
off.
the
I know you don't know
piece.
none. Okay.
Wow, it's true though. It's
Yeah,
so true.
like real talk though. Um. Okay. Well, let's like do a couple more. I'm sorry. Just started clicking my tongue. A man who uses force is afraid of reasoning.
Oh my god, we're not a politics podcast. Let me get out of that. It's giving do it with honey rather than vinegar, whatever that is. I'm saying it
Oh,
wrong. You know what I'm talking
mm,
about.
I know
It's
what
giving
is
that.
that saying? Oh,
Yeah,
you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
that part.
My mama
That
used to say
part.
that one a lot. She used to say that one a lot.
Because it makes sense. You can't just
Hmm.
go strong arm someone. You're gonna be like, excuse who are you? Like, we're not out here for
Hmm.
that. And then it's giving like, who do you think you are? Why are you just trying to strong arm people? Control
Hmm.
issues, aggression
Hmm.
issues. Like, chill
Hmm.
out and just treat people with dignity and respect. Be kind. Like, people respond to
Hmm.
that better. And if they're not responding to you, you need to like take a breath and reevaluate, is this worth it? And not let people like ruffle your own feathers. Practicing, we're all practicing that
We're
consistently,
all
but
practicing.
you know, that's what I think. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is,
Girl,
right?
you're doing great. You're doing great.
Wow.
Literally, it talks about like wisdom and diplomacy, right? And how they're stronger than aggression. And that it applies to leadership, it applies to conflict resolution, it applies to negotiations, like everything that
Mm-hmm.
you said, like boom, 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 boom. Okay, we're spot
Mm-hmm.
on. Like, and a lot of times, I think too, when I think about like, if I go back to like when I was working with students who would become really like aggressive or, for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason, a lot of times, like, there's an unmet need that is happening and they
Yeah.
don't know, how to communicate that. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to get that need met. And so they think by having, an explosive behavior or, aggressive behavior, like that's the way to get that. And a lot of times it doesn't, like, and people are addressing the behavior, not the need. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
so I do think it's really important for us to learn to use our words, right? And to
Mm-hmm.
learn to, you know, be able to compromise if like that's what is needed. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of just being like, this is what it is, boom, I don't care how you feel about it, because, most of the time that's definitely not going to get you what you want. So,
No, it's not. And can you
mhm.
imagine like us being therapists, like going to therapy, being like, just get it together. Like you could not do that to somebody. That actually doesn't help. It doesn't create any
At
change.
all, at all. And you know what? This is making me think of a little bit, like the whole conversation around gentle parenting,
Oh,
right?
for
And how,
sure.
people have a lot of opinions about it. I think people have also like a lot of misinterpretations about what gentle parenting is, and everybody thinks
Agreed.
that you're just super passive. You let your kids just do whatever you want or whatever they
Mm-hmm.
want, and like that's really not what is happening. It's just you're not using force or aggression to
Mm-hmm.
force compliance. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
For
you're
sure.
you're teaching compromise, you're teaching ability to negotiate, like the tools that we actually need. Like
Mm-hmm.
that
And
is
there are
what
still
gentle parenting is
consequences.
about.
There's still like
Absolutely.
discipline that's happening for sure, but
Yeah.
it's more
Like
like
you're not a punk.
discipleship.
You're not a
Mm-hmm.
punk. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
just like finding other ways to resolve conflicts and
Yeah.
to address needs of behaviors that we find undesirable.
Mm-hmm.
So
But girl, it's hard. I be seeing some of these videos where kids will like smack their parents, and I'm like, oh, I can't imagine. Like, I don't know what gentle.
and
Even as a social worker, I'm like, oh my god,
there are some
like,
things where it's like,
I'm like,
okay, now.
yeah. I'm not self-regulated enough all the time. I hope that I can be there. I hope I can like have it just woosah and like take a moment because I know
I
that's
think
what I'm
that's when you see
supposed to
parents
do
dissociate, right? When you see that their kid is
for
like, maybe
sure,
they've tried all the gentle parenting techniques they can think of, and their
for
kid is
sure,
still tripping, and then you literally just see them like take a deep breath and just look up,
for
like
sure.
asking the Lord, please help me
Just
because
please,
I
please,
don't know what's
because
about to happen.
exactly, someone's about to get hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's tough, and for sure, there's a lot of judgment around
Hmm.
the gentle
Hmm.
parenting. But for anybody who's curious, look up what it's like supposed to be, and then
Hmm. Hmm.
go from there.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let's do one more, maybe. Um, okay. I was like, we've done a lot about cooperation. I want to do a different one. Oh, okay. Wisdom is like a baobab tree. No one individual can embrace it.
A what tree?
Baobab? Like think of the tree in the Lion King.
Oh
That
yeah.
tree. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Baobab.
Baobab.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now I was so distracted by the tree that I don't remember anything else you said. So one more time.
Wisdom. Wisdom is like a baobab tree. No one individual can embrace it.
Can embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, wow. That's not what I thought you were gonna say. I'm gonna go with what I still think it is. It's like wisdom has to be shared, and not what like one person can't carry all the wisdom. Everybody has wisdom. I even
Totally
think
agree
like
with that.
little children have wisdom. We'd be like, oh, they don't like live life. I'm like, but they'll teach you about yourself. Okay, they'll give you a
Hello.
whole mirror. They'll tell you exactly what they're thinking. They're not holding nothing, which is why I actually like love kids. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, just the wisdom of things is not held by one person. We all come with our own backgrounds, our own experiences, and they're all valid to some degree. I think to most degrees. Let me not be shady, but I think, all that can bring a perspective to any
Mhm.
situation. So, yeah.
Friend, look at you. You are firing on all cylinders right now, okay? Because it's literally that. Knowledge and wisdom are shared. No one person knows it all, right? And it promotes learning from community and collective experiences. So
Boom.
everybody can bring something to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can learn something from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
snaps, okay?
But it is crazy that some of these, like, we definitely know and have heard of. And I think I wouldn't have said, besides it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah,
I think that one's so common. And
yeah.
I've heard so many people say that that's like an African proverb. But the other ones, I don't think I would have necessarily said it. I don't know if I would have even thought about where did these come from. But I think they
Mhm.
just don't get enough credit. Like, our people don't get enough credit at the end of the
Yeah,
day for
yeah.
a lot of the things that you've just shared. I can't help but thinking about the community piece and how important it is.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Yeah. Again, I feel like I'm always the one being like, so then there's this other terrible thing in the world, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to leave us on like a warm, fuzzy note about like the importance of community. I talked about
Mhm.
my black girl gamers. I'm trying to find community there too. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with you that there was like a definite theme about not doing
Mhm.
this stuff alone, which I
Yeah.
also want to say, and I want to know your perspective on, like, because I think we're kind of the same with this sometimes. That means also like accepting people as they are to some degree
Mhm.
or a lot of degree, and like with that, trusting them.
Mhm.
Um, which like I do, but like, do I? I
Hello.
think is like, I'll be like, is your judgment, So I think I need to do better at that. I think that's part of the like growing community is like not writing everybody off because maybe
Yeah.
they said one thing, that you're like, I don't really love that. Or a little quirk about their personality. It's like really
Yeah.
trying to get to know people and trusting them, with some
Mhm.
things, whether that's emotions, whether that's, I don't know, feelings, whether that's
Yeah.
stories,
Or even just
anything
like
like that.
achieving a goal, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
when I think about trusting other people and it's a shared effort, I know one of the things I always had really, really like difficult times with is when I would, this is going to be so silly, when I would have to do group projects with people. And I would just see your face. Okay. So you get it. You already get it.
Yeah. I'm
Like
like, no, because
it's, it's hard for me because I'll be like, I think I shared on the podcast my, awakening of me being a type A personality. And really, what shed the most light of it is having a working group projects or having to collab with a bunch of people and trusting that they're going to get done what they agreed to get done. And that's a tough thing for me because I like things to be timely and I like things to be done well. And I have a certain standard that I set for myself, and then I'll set that for other people, which might be unfair to them because, I don't know their capacity, I don't know their limitations, whatever, whatever. But like, it's a hard thing for me to be like, okay, they said they got it. So you have to trust that they got it because sometimes people don't, is all I'm going to say. Sometimes they don't. And then here I am having to fix things that but like,
no, I'm
I'm working on
telling.
it. I'm working on it.
In
It's a
college, I
hard
was like,
thing
I don't
for
have a
me.
choice. Like in my work life, I'll work a little bit more better on it or whatever. And I normally feel like in work, I have people who do their jobs, but back when you
Mhm.
had to like be forced to be with people, and then especially in high school and stuff, you're like, he don't do no work. She don't do whatever. You're like,
Yes.
damn it, that
Or
was different.
especially the kids who don't do anything and they're immediately seeking out the people that they know are gonna like put in the work.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, not you, because
Mhm.
we both know what type of time you're on. Okay, like
Mhm.
I've
Mhm.
lived in grad school. I remember having to do a group project with people that I did not choose to be with. And it was like our final presentation. It was like a whole long situation. But I remember we met, We said, this is the topic, this is what we're doing, yada, yada, yada. We created our whole PowerPoint. And literally the night before we were to present, one of the people literally did not put anything on their slide.
Oh my God, you
I,
were so pissed. I know this story. It's coming back to
yeah,
me.
and
You definitely told me
I
this.
was pissed. I was like, first of all, like, how dare you? But what I did, which is like passive aggressive slash a little aggressive, I'm not even gonna stunt. Literally on their slide in huge, bold red, like red letters, insert name, put your work in. Like in the I was not having it because you not gonna mess my grade up because you don't want to do your work, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I was very honest on those those little you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm talking about. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it, my bad listeners.
Like the little
The
review the person.
evaluations,
There
yes,
you
your
go.
like team evaluations. I was very honest about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't
Yeah.
know if that impacted your grade or not, but like
Mm-hmm.
consequences have actions is all. Or actions have consequences.
We understood
So,
you. We got
you
it.
know,
We got it. We got it.
anywho though, that's a major side quest. I was so pissed. That was really a time.
Yeah, this
Okay,
feels
and
like a glitch.
I
Like
was
you went back.
okay.
I was
I
like,
just time
oh wait.
travel. I'm getting hot. Like, oh my god.
I was like, wait, this is coming back to me. I wasn't even there.
So, okay, so I'm trying to see if I had any discussion questions that we haven't already tapped into, but I feel like we kind of have. I would say the only, oh, I just wanted to do some like honorable mentions that are a little bit more practical. I feel like a little bit more common for folks today. And these are ones that I just really remember like my family saying a lot. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Really big
Classic.
one, right? And a closed mouth doesn't get fed. That was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big
Mm-hmm.
one. Like, if you need something, you need to speak up. You need to
Mm-hmm.
advocate. So,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And the other one, what goes around comes around. You know, karma's that girl.
Wow.
Okay, karma's that girl. So,
Wow. I'm telling you, African proverbs don't get enough credit. That's not what they
okay,
get coined as.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, anywho, so to wrap it up, Black American proverbs aren't just words. Their culture, their humor, their guidance and survival tools, and they teach us resilience and community and wisdom that can span across generations. So,
Mm-hmm. I
if
love
you're
that.
interested, look into it. There's so many. Like, there's just so many. I honestly, I
Mm.
was like, once I started doing the research, I was like, I wonder if there's like a book that just has like a bunch of folklore or like proverbs or like just something that kind of like has a bunch in one. And I actually did find one and I ordered it and I'm like very excited to get it because
Oh,
I think
cute.
that would be like really cool just to read through and really cool to just like be able to kind of keep that tradition going and passing that on to like future generations in my family and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be cool because I do love story time and I do love books and
Yeah.
I think that would be really great. So
Yeah. I feel like this is your jam. And one thing that I wanted to bring up, um, I don't know if you read this, Ariel, but it's a book called Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. I hope I'm saying her name
is
right.
it a blue cover and it's like this black girl and she's got an afro? Is she a mermaid? Is that what's
Yeah.
happening? I
Yeah,
haven't read
kind
it, but
of.
it's on my list of things to read.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
it's like African mythology. Um, so we're always, well, I'll speak about myself. I'm always trying to be like, okay, well, my experience. We're always like fed Greek mythology. I mean, through Marvel, Norse mythology for me. Who
Yeah.
else? Zeus and who? There's one more. Romans?
Roman.
Somebody. Okay. Someone.
Roman.
One. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Ariel was
Roman
always the one on top
mythology.
of it.
I
I've
am
never
such
been
a
into
mythology
mythology.
nerd, y'all. Like that is my jam. So
Yeah, yeah, you are.
anywho,
You should
though.
always break it down for me real good because I'd be like, yawn. But this is really interesting again because it's like giving that, like when we're thinking Zeus, when we're thinking like Hercules, and I don't know the other ones right now, but nevertheless, it's like that level of grandiose and like mythology, magic, all of that
Mhm.
happening. But yeah, African. So it's really cool.
Mhm.
I highly
Mhm.
suggest it if that's something that you're into. Like if you normally like mythology, I think this
Yeah.
tracks. And there's like, I forget how many books in it. I only read the one.
Mm.
But yeah, it's giving mermaids and other stuff.
There's this is reminding me, there used to be a show on like maybe Showtime or I don't know. Hold on, now I'm about to look it up, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. There was a show, and I remember Orlando
Oh
Jones
my
played
God, I forgot.
Anansi the Spider. And shoot, what is the name of this freaking show? Uh,
Mm-mm. But this is feeling
um,
familiar suddenly.
mhm. Um, I'm gonna find this out, y'all. I can't let you go before I know. I'm not finding it
American
right.
Gods?
American Gods. That's the one. If you guys are into mythology and you want like a scripted show about it, highly recommend. It's like it gets a little dark, it's a little spooky, but it definitely like they reference the slave trade, and they reference like
Mm,
rebellions, and they reference like all of these different gods and different mythologies, and they kind of like make it in like real time today, and like how those gods are like
mm,
affecting the lives of the people
mm,
around them. So like highly recommend. It was a really, really interesting show. But yeah, I just remember Orlando Jones, he played a Nazi, and he was on a slave ship, and he was like getting the people to rebel, and it was like a wild
mm.
time. But
Okay.
yeah, it was a time. Thanks, Riddle. Yeah, that's all I got.
All
Folklore,
right.
proverbs, and community.
I love it though. It's such a great reminder to like do that more instead of the individuality that we always get sold. Like, let's actually come together to at least
Mhm.
have fun, you know? Plus
Right?
everything else.
Campfire
Feel
stories.
validated, feel seen. We could keep going. All the benefits. All right, now let's shift into glow mode. This is our space for wins, wisdom, and words that lift us up. Ariel, give us your word, phrase, or affirmation, your intention for the next week.
So my intention is something that you had used a couple episodes back, but I just really want to be present. At the top of the show, I mentioned I'm going to be spending some time with family, and I'm super, super excited for that. And I just like want to take it all in and like just like have a good time. So yeah, I just want to be super present.
I
What
love
about
that.
you? Yeah.
Time flies. So I guess I'm thinking something similar. I know we had talked about in that one episode. I swear that I am on every episode. But in one of them, I can't remember the number right now, we had talked about like tech and like the apps and all of that and
Mm-hmm.
like mental health and stuff like that. And I had brought up an app that I use called Insight Timer. So like I meditated today and I put my intention for today, but I think I
I
want it
love
to be
it.
my intention for like more than just today, for like a little bit, and just to be
Mm-hmm.
like thankful, to practice some gratitude. And I think it
Mm-hmm.
like coincides with presence too, of like, hey, when I'm having moments or even when I'm like bored or tired or whatever it is, just like being thankful at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day that I can rest, or being thankful that I still got a roof over my head or food or whatever. I know that sounds silly, but there's even this girl, this woman, of course it's on TikTok, y'all know. But she has this like bit, I guess, except it's not a bit, where she's like, I'm rich. And then she'll say like something that seems really basic in her house, but like I think the whole thing is about gratitude. She'll be like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
rich. I can go out and have a drink with my meal when I'm eating out. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
rich.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
have like my snack thing filled up, just like little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Thinking about like her pantry, or thinking about like whatever she got in the bag, her sprinkler system, whatever it is. Like, calling it rich, where I feel like a lot of us feel like, oh, I'm not rich if I don't have money. Like, I want to practice gratitude and just feeling like rich in my life based
Hmm.
on the goodness that's already occurring within it. So I'm gonna practice that over that. That was really long, but that's
No, that was
what I'm
great. No,
practicing this
that
week.
was great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm still talking, but here I am. So I was shocked myself by the end.
All right, Joel. So remember, you can tune in on YouTube and Spotify, and you can follow us on IG or email us at glitchandglowpod@gmail.com. And we will see y'all in 2 weeks on Tuesday. And as you power down, remember, every glitch has a glow up. Bye.
Bye, y'all.